Gere è stato il protagonista di straordinari successi,
di film che amiamo tutti, ma ha avuto anche la fortuna di lavorare con grandissimi maestri del cinema. Ne elenco 4: Francis Ford Coppola, Terence Malick, Akira Kurosawa, Robert Altman. Io vorrei chiedere brevissimamente, in una battuta, in una frase, come definirebbe questi 4 grandi registi, a cominciare da Terence Malick, o se c'è qualcosa che ha imparato da loro. Malick, Coppola, Kurosawa ed Altman.
Well, first of all, I'm surprised that Terry was actually here.
It's true.
And he spoke?
Sort of.
Because Terry... First of all, can we turn the lights up a little bit so I can see the audience?
Le luci un pochino su se è possibile, vorrei vedere tutti.
Now we're in this together. Okay. Terry was, I mean, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. It's kind of funny watching it now, because I was, can you fix this so it doesn't do this? Am I doing it?
Yeah.
Is it me? I'll turn it off there. Is that better? Yeah?
That's good.
Okay. I was 26 when we started that movie. And I was 29 when it was released. Because we started shooting it just after I turned 26. And then a year later, we shot for another 2 weeks or so, 2 or 3 weeks. And then he edited again for another year. And finally the producer said, that's it, we've got to release this movie. They took it away from him, or he never would have stopped. Terry was really interesting in my evolution. I mean, he's obviously brilliant. He's a brilliant writer. He's a brilliant director. Terry, at that point, didn't know how to talk about movies. He didn't know how to talk about what he wanted. It was, and he would do endless takes. And it was incredibly frustrating for us as actors, because we would try myriads of things to make him happy. And he still was dissatisfied. And I remember this one day, it came to the point where I said, Terry, I'm exhausted. You've got to tell me what you want. And he said to me, we were shooting a scene in the house, this incredible house that was in Days of Heaven. And he said, you see the curtain over there moving in the wind? As the wind hits it and the curtain moves. He says, that's what I want. But I knew exactly what he was talking about. It was really helpful to me. And it's a thing that I like also, that life just happens. And it's not up to an actor. I mean, there's some kind of movies where you act differently. You know, the requirements are different. But I especially like this kind of movie where, like the scene you showed, it's the people are not a larger element than the wind or the rain or the water or time itself. It's just another element in the universe, and they're all equal. I think all Terry's films have had that quality. And essentially, he's probably made the same movie now 5 times. But that's a worldview and an artistic view that I think is unique to him. And whether he articulates it or not, I don't know if he can now. Did he articulate it any better than that to you?
Yes, sort of.
Sort of. So I think Terry was about that to me. And it was my first movie. So that was obviously very important in my evolution. The other actors talking about Robert Altman. Altman also became a very good friend of mine. And we were quite close. And there was a lot of affection and a lot of joy with us. And Robert had another feeling. People have a funny idea about Robert Altman. I don't know if he's well known here. Do people know Robert Altman's work? It always appeared that everything was improvised. But in my case, the movie we did, Dr. T and the Women, was very scripted, a very good script. So it was creating the illusion that we were improvising the movie as it was happening. A lot of that had to do with the fact that he was usually working 2 to 4 cameras simultaneously. And he would be behind a screen with video hookups to each of these cameras. And he would have a microphone and headphones, and he would be talking to each operator, telling them what he wanted to do as the scene was being shot. Nothing was predetermined. And he would say, no, not going for a close-up on the old lady in the back. No, the other old lady. and the foreground would say, no, pull back, wider shot, wider shot. So he was directing like television, like live television. Exactly. But it's also a kind of very kinetic way of making movies. And I think that sense of improvisation comes from that. He does like to improvise, but it's not like improvising to create a scene. He's quite structured in his storytelling.